My name's Dwain, and coming up from recently in Zululand, and I've moved down to Amakhala Game Reserve as the general manager of the game reserve. And my day-to-day role is looking after the reserve itself, everything within the boundaries of the game reserve, the staff, different departments, including ecology, security, maintenance of the reserve, and the well-being of the owner's land. Yeah, so it started about 16, 17 years ago. Originally I was a rugby player, and it was fairly good, I think. Went overseas and played rugby in the UK, and that's where I met my wife now. And somehow convinced her to move to Africa. And we had two lovely daughters, and they were born in the UK as well. And so since then, since I left school, during school, it's always been a passion of mine to be within the bush. And every now and again when I speak to my mates and stuff, they keep saying, look, you're the only one that's doing what you said you're going to do since primary school. And I'm like, yeah, I suppose, it's always been there. And it started off with field guiding up in the Northwest Province. From there we moved up into the Limpopo national parks, and then down to Zululand, and there pretty much became the conservation side of things and land management, and just grew within that, and just been building my career up from that stage. So yes, I've been in most departments within conservation. So but the nice thing is we still learn. Every reserve that I've worked in has something different, and that's the nice thing about it. What attracted me to Amakhala Game Reserve is I've never been in the Eastern Cape, and I kept on hearing about the beauty of the Eastern Cape. And yes, you see it on TV, you see it on the websites and stuff, and I've just never had that opportunity to come out this side. And when opportunity arose, and I really pushed it, because there was just something that was a calling out there, and I said, I had to go and see what it's like. And when I came down for the first time, the people was number one, was great people, and then just the environment, the openness, the aloes, the thickets. It's something totally different that you don't get to see the other reserves that I've worked at. So it's kind of a unique biome in this area, and and I think that's been the greatest attraction. The big five in the area, and that sort of stuff. It just all fits in. You've got the coast just down the road, and what more can you want? So it was a lot of boxes that it ticked, and as soon as that opportunity arose, I grabbed it, and here I am, and loving it. The main thing on my personal side is managing the land, the animals, the people that manage it as well, the departments. So you got to have a finger in all pies, and it's obviously controlling each department, that they all fit into each other, because every department has a specific role and just as important as the other, and you have to combine them all to work together. Daily office work, financial reports that you got to keep up to date, balances. It's a lot of money that goes into it, and you've got to have things working and ticking over all the day, because every day is going to be a different day, and you've got to make it work. You've got staff that just enjoy being out here. You've got to keep the team spirit going up. So it's a lot of different things, not just about the animals out there. It's a lot of the behind the scenes that we just sit down. And when I started in conservation, it was 80% out the bush, 10% in the office, and now the roles have totally changed. I'm 80% in the office and 10% out in the bush. But that's what reserve managers do, general managers do. It's the upkeep of these natural areas. In 2009, when the rhino poaching, when I was working in one of the national parks, it literally in a month we lost over double figures, and it went from nice work of just day-to-day patrols and bushwalks and having coffee on the decks and that sort of stuff to actually just don't know where to run, what to do, being away from the family day in, day night. After a full day's work, you get a report of gunshots going out, and it's literally just grabbing your bag, and you're not coming back that night. It's till the next morning, and you just say goodbye and all you get from your wife, and that is be safe. What can you do? So yeah, it really knocks people down. Probably in 2009 was the hardest when we weren't used to it. We didn't know what to expect, and it was just all around us. So it's taken, over the time, years, it's taken about 80 to 90% of your day-to-day normal work away, and it's really become, on a reserve manager or a ranger, that's become your work these days, and a lot of reserves don't have the financial support to have a manager to manage the APU or anything like that, and the reserve manager has to fill in that spot, and you've got to get called out. So you're working day to day, 8 or 5 jobs, and other work comes in between, but you've got to drop everything else when that dreadful call comes in and say we've got an incursion or a rhino's been down. So yeah, it's a continuous stress. It's always in the back of your mind. It's something that sometimes people do get a bit blasé on about when it's a quiet period, but unfortunately it's happening everywhere around us without us even knowing. The people around us, we just don't know, and that's where it is at the moment. It's people that you trust that are working next to you that is busy probably planning something. Yeah, my role with the APU active management side of things is it's just to better their training, using my experience, my knowledge, my past history with the epidemic and the poaching and that, and trying to grow the team and get them ready. Fortunately, at Eastern Cape, they're probably at the moment the least threat area, but the feel on the ground is the guys are still busy recruiting and sorting their plans out, and the way things are going in other provinces, I don't think it's too far away before we start in the same, and I just need to get the guys ready for it, because I've been there and I know what to expect, and there's nothing worse when you get hit and you don't know where to go. So my role is to really just to encourage them to keep doing what they're doing, and then to better train them and be better prepared. So yeah, over the last 3-4 months, I've passed on a lot of information and training and upskilled them as much as possible, which is continuous, and just to motivate them again, because I do find when places do get a bit quiet, people start thinking, okay, nothing's going to happen, we can relax a bit, but no, that's what caught us off guard as well. Yeah, in 15 years, there's a book that I can write actually, but most of the time people always have animal situations and stuff, and but probably one that comes to mind now is where it was on the trails that we'd done in a national park, and believe it or not, we had fire that was set by poachers, and the blocks up there are quite large, so there's no roads in these areas, so it was about 9-10 o'clock at night, and next thing on the radio is that there's a fire burning in, and unfortunately the wind was blowing in our direction, so that fire was coming at a heck of a speed, and all that we could do really was burn around our tent, set a fire light. There was just no time to pack up our tents and to move anywhere because it's just grass, so we would have been really caught up in the fire. So we had to literally burn around our little tents and camps as a backburn just to stop the fire, to give us a bit of a break. So those things happen in the bush where you're always expecting animals to run at you or get eaten by this or charged by that, but then there are these odd things, poachers that set firelight because it attracts the animals for them, and we get caught in these things as well. So that's one dangerous thing in the bush that catches me now and again, it's unexpected. So it's one hair-raising situation I've been in before. What gets me up every morning, I think, is the unknown. What phone call am I going to get this morning and say what went wrong or what's happened or what animal given birth to what? So I think it's the unknown in the game reserve that keeps driving you. It's not knowing going in, I've got to do this, I've got to repeat this. It's purely the unknown and in the environment that I enjoy being in. So combining those two, I think, can't complain. Yeah, over the time that I've been in Amakhala, I think it's the cheetah in the open plains. Like I said, where I've been before, it's been really bushveld and closed areas and large trees, but seeing cheetah in these open plains with the eland and the gemsbuck and these animals that you don't really get to see in their natural environment unless they've been put there, but over here it's naturally here. Probably just 3 points that I'd work on is reduce the impact of the ecotourism, build awareness of environment to local people and then just let people that come here for ecotourism understand the local culture and people of the area. And I think if you combine those 3 together, you're on a winning ticket, I think. So that is my strategy at the moment with Amakhala, is those 3 points. Yeah. Some special projects in the pipeline. I'd like to enhance the ecotourism on game drive side of things, is building some bird hides that people can stop by and see some special birds that are migrating during summer months, local birds that stay here throughout the year. Other project is to start doing alien control, land sustainability, erosion, and bringing the land back to its original state. Maybe a week and a bit away from releasing another male leopard onto Amakhala. One of our cheetah females, we're pretty much sure is pregnant. She's been hiding for a while. So everyone is just waiting because we monitor them through VHF collars, and she's moving slightly, but she's stuck in one area, and the time that she's seen mating before to now is an indication that she should be pregnant, probably given birth. We've also had a baby elephant that was born about a month ago. So with all the good rains that came late, and then you got all these new animals coming through, it's just not ending, so it's a good place to come right now. Conservation started, I think, back in the day when 50-50 was still on every show, and I was adamant, it was like fighting between carte blanche and 50-50 on a Sunday evening, and every time I saw lions killing hyenas and stuff, I'd cry and this and that, but then follow up to why does it happen, and then once I got the understanding behind it and the interest just grew and grew to actually understand why these things happen. So yes, I remember clearly even before primary school, it's always been a passion and a goal, and yes, rugby has always been in our family. The opportunity came for rugby, and always knew in the back of my mind rugby is a short-term thing at the time. I could get injured, I could get this, but I knew I had to fall back onto something, and conservation was always something I was going to fall back onto, regardless of how long my career would have lasted. Well, quite a few things. I like to go out on the ocean. I do a lot of paddling on the ocean, so every gap I get, I do just love going in the ocean. It's getting away from phones and TVs and Wi-Fi and tablets and stuff, and you're just in nature. It's just so quiet out there behind the back line, and it's exercising, and I do a lot of running. My goal is to try and do comrades probably this year. I'll give it a go. I'm not adamant to do it, but I'm running towards it. But if I make it great. I like to be active. If I'm not training or paddling in the ocean or something, I'll put the kids on the back of the car and have a few cold ones, and we just do a bit of a drive on the game reserve and get to see things I don't get time to see when I'm busy in the office or something. I use that time just to move around the game reserve and see what's going on the ground. It's to be patient, and things come in time. That a lot of the times I know what I want in my mind, and I've got to work with nature, and I can't force it. I've got to let them also play their role in it, and sometimes my patience runs out of it. So what I also have advice for myself and stuff, just to sit back and just be patient, and it will work.